Yo, what is up, my appley friend? How's it going? Just got done hanging out with one of my IRL mates, and yeah, it was a good time. Had fun, watched Aniara, and yeah, big boolin now. Baked, good time. Had a bit of sad boy hours for a little bit because I talked to an acquaintance who's friends with my friend who killed himself. And had some reminiscing and sad boy hours and talked to him about some stuff, and yeah, it's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, it was my friend's first time watching Aniara, and he said it was really good. He rated it a 4 out of 5, which is pretty good. Aniara has a lot of awesome themes, but it's about like Earth and stuff, shrunk down to the size of a spaceship. You know, it's like infanticide, suicide, all that shit, murder, authoritarianism, all that nihilism. Well, talked any interesting things you like to expose to the world, emotions, realizations. Um, no really emotions, realizations. Um, yeah, that was like the only person that knew for months ahead of time that my friend was planning to kill themselves when they basically did kill themselves, which was something I thought she was talking to other people about, I guess, but apparently that was the only person she told in advance, like multiple months in advance. But it is what it is. Apparently, her ex-fiance kind of assumed that if he didn't do this thing that she would probably do that, and had a feeling, but didn't know because she never actually mentioned it. But I was the only person she actually mentioned it to. So that kind of fucked up his night a little bit and kind of made me feel like a little down. That like, dang, kind of probably should have told someone else a little bit. But at the same time, promortalism, I guess. So it's like, I don't fucking know. She made her own decision. It would have been inevitable anyways. But do we? Say I'm alright, guys. I'm not drinking. So that's complicated. Oh, yeah, indeed. All situations are complicated situations when it involves me and my friends, and Shamira specifically. Yo, Jonathan, I'm free whenever you are free, I guess. Yeah, I'm down to hang out whenever. We can hang out right now. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, we could. I'm literally like we live like I live like 2 minutes away, so we could. But anyways, yeah, everything's a complicated situation when it involves someone who's dead, especially when it involves Manny, me, and Shamir. Yeah, basically, it was kind of like this love triangle thing going on where like I originally met Shamir, had a thing for her, kind of me and my one of my friends introduced Manny to this group, and then they met, and yeah, and bing bang boom, things kind of love triangled where she fell in love with him, and I kind of always was like being all like, I should not impose upon my feelings upon this woman because she is a very delicate heart. She's been abused by many people. I'm a toxic individual, but and yeah, basically, I kind of hated Manny for a long time. Became friends, and I hated him, and then I became friends, and then I hated him, and now we're just like acquaintances. So, the way love, no, it was more like I actually wanted to murder this man, and then it was like I generally hated him, but I didn't want to murder him, and then it was like same thing. I just really hated his fucking guts. And now I'm acquaintances with him. Like we're not really friends, but we're not really like enemies. We don't really hate each other. We talk on occasion, like console each other, but that's about it. But yeah, it's one of those things where you hate him because you're jealous. That plus we had different political beliefs, and he was very like wishy-washy. He just kind of like did like didn't have an like he was very hollow, and I was like also I felt hollow, but I was trying to be a person. I could see his hollowness, and I was just like, you disgust me. So I didn't like him as a person. He was also a Trump supporter, so I didn't like him in terms of his political views at the time. And he was imagine a Hispanic person who like doesn't like who's a Trump supporter and like has like most wishy-washy views on the planet just because all his friends are also Trump supporters and like me. So basically, I hated his guts for multiple reasons, but now he's still a wishy-washy motherfucker. But like at least he's not a Trump supporter. I guess I don't know, and he's like at least like a nice guy for the most part. He's done a lot of stupid shit in his life that's kind of led to my best friend no longer being here. But when it comes down to it, no one has free will, and her suicide was inevitable anyways. So I can't blame him. I just understand that consequentially speaking, you know. But that's just how things do be. It's quite literally the world's there's the consequences of all actions, and it's just inevitability at that point for her. So I don't blame him. But I don't hate him anymore. I just hate everybody. But when it comes down to it, he's in my book. If I was in a pocket dimension with him, I would not kill him basically. So, he's basically in my cool book, basically. I'd only kill for him out of mercy as a mortalist, basically. I wouldn't torture kill him, which basically, it's above most people. So, there you go. Do you ruminate about the causes and blame regardless of having some acceptance? No, not really. I don't really blame or reminisce about it with him. I think about myself more than anything because I basically have been pro mortalist, and she knows that. Well, she knew that. So basically, I mean, I would talk about my philosophies with her and stuff like that, and like all the beliefs that I had and have. So it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's fairly depressing shit. So I mean, sometimes I get a little like, huh, how much in the final days was she thinking about me and what I said, I mean, I already know she was planning to do it no matter what at that time, but how much was, like, her talking herself into it, like, you know, based off of, like, maybe comforting words that I've said, like, premortalist stuff, like, being like, "Death isn't bad for the one who dies," it's actually a good thing to die. Your tarantula when it died, you can be sad, but when it comes down to it, you being sad is just generating pain in the world. You should try to be as stoic as possible and, understand that it's no longer suffering and that it's pleasure. It's just an illusion of sorts. Blah, 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 blah. Like how many of these things that I, like, potentially did that, like, just unnecessarily hurt her and stuff and, led to her maybe in the final moments being like, able to do it easier. But then I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like I feel like it'd be a good thing from an egalitarian perspective, like objectively speaking. But like, like if like, it did somehow lead to it, then also at the same time I feel like a little guilty a little bit. But at the same time it's just projecting my brain. I have no clue. She didn't really buy into primordialism at all, and she already had plans to do so like months in advance. So it's like, whatever. It's like, and regardless of that, she would have probably killed herself eventually, no matter what, because frankly, she hated this world. She loved the people in the world, and she wanted everybody to have a good life. But when it comes down to it, she hated this world. Her and I are very, very similar people. Too similar. She just happened to have a way worse deck of cards. Do you ever go to a trade school? The Legend 27. I went to NWTC for a bit. I'm gonna go back to NBTC. So, have I ever went to a trade school? Yeah, but have I ever went into a trade? No. Um, I just went there for general education. Will you have a gaming? Yeah, I mean, I will have a gaming stream going on pretty soon. Once my dad goes to bed, which I don't know when he's gonna go to bed. I might just go into the living room and play my game. Actually, I'm gonna ask my dad when he's planning to go to sleep, if he's tired or not. Because if he's not, I might just unplug the PlayStation, bring the PlayStation into my room, and then I can do that. Yo, legend, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to have a deep combo. Yeah, basically. I think I get it. People like us try to help by telling the truth. You overthink like me. I often overwrote my impact on people's choices. Even I might be attracting insinuations. Yeah, basically, I don't know how much I actually have like a significant impact on people or not. Especially like now that I can't mention things, but well, not mention things, but not like I can't mention things to her and be like, "Yo, hey." Like, what do you even think about this? Like, what did you mean by this XYZ? Like, did you actually feel this way about this? Like, I don't know. I can't ever know any of that shit ever again. So it is what it is, though. Frankly, it is what it is. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's let- we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, including the Legend 27 is a little bit less depressing. Um, We can have deep conversations also. I'm not gonna shut that down either. But yeah, trade school was interesting. NWTC is a good school. Legend, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're just kidding here. We love you, Legend. You kick ass and whatever that one game is. Please come back. We love you. Anyways, hmm. But yeah, Legend 27. If you're still watching, my dude, when I game, I'm gonna be gaming on Discord. Cause unfortunately, it don't work very well. It don't work very well, on whatever you want to call it, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Whenever I try to use YouTube on the PlayStation 5, it's just like, "Hey, get fucked, boy," and I'm like, no, don't do it to me," and then I get annihilated. So basically, now I'm just doing what I do, which is occasionally stream on Discord. Right now, I'm streaming on Discord just through StreamYard, but I do stream it through my PlayStation 5 because I can. Yeah, in a server. Yeah. I'm just gonna basically play some Chivalry in a bit, and then on PlayStation, I'm just like gonna go and click that little button like boop, and then be like, I am gonna stream, and then I'll start streaming. You know what I mean? Yeah, right now you can watch me. I'm still on Discord right now, so you can watch me on Discord if you want. Uh, like if you might be less buffery as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, if you want, you can watch me in Discord and same shit. It's just exact overlay. How the fuck do I do that? Oh, I mean, wait, do you have me on Discord? Have you bought weed in Quebec? No, I've never been to Quebec. But if I were to go to Quebec, I would probably buy weed there if I could. That's my answer to that question, Jason Myers. Ah, fucking man. Ah, see, this is the wizard blanket. It has, oh, Mr. Clean, please let me go. What the fuck? See, it has little pockets for your hands, and yeah, everything. It's amazing. It's like a little robe. Just wear it around. It's comfy. It's fuzzy. It has different strains of psychedelic mushrooms on it. It's truly a 10 out of 10 blanket. It's very kawaii, man. Yeah, it is very kawaii desu. Kawaii desu. Yeah. It's a very kawaii desu, my dude. Man. Very ubu coated. Hell yeah, man. Baka. Don't call me ubu coated. Apple-kun. Yeah, we're becoming weeaboos now, guys. This is now a weeb channel. We're gonna start reviewing anime. So, Tubi's ass. It is the fattest of all the ants. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. So, when it comes down to it, to be or not to be, that is the question of all philosophy. Yo, guys. My grandma couldn't read this because she's like it's too batshit home slice, and I'm like, ah, it's fair, but I'm gonna eventually read this bad boy. Look at this, No Longer Human by Junji Ito, novel by Osamu Dazai. Truly, this is a masterpiece right here. That's a thickie. Yeah, man. This is a thick book. This is a thick book. The Dream of the Celts. My grandma also read this. She said it's really good. Planning to read it pretty soon here. Look at this. This is even thicker. Oh, Paradise Kiss. I'm a real big fan of romance manga. Don't tell anybody, but it's true. I like myself a romance novel. I have like 1 through 9 of Spice and Wolf because Spice and Wolf is the most wholesome 100 of all anime, and it is just adorable. I love it. It's about like economy and like romance, and it's adorable. It's just like, oh my god. So moral of the story is Spice and Wolf is very gay. Yeah, man, it's very gay, which is why I love it. Mine has been mine has been a life of so much shame. I can't even guess myself what it must be to live the life of a human being. You already know this is going to be a great book. We're doing a little read along. Here. Thanks. June 13th, 1948. Tamgawa Canal. Ooh, pictures. Fuck yeah, man. Phew. Now, we'll always be together. Yes, we will. Such a man of letters, you've written so many brilliant works. You deserve to win Alganta Prize. I suppose there'll be a terrific fuss tomorrow. It's too bad. But you belong to me now, and me alone. That's right, Sachi. You carried me all this way. And he coughs up some blood. You poor thing, your body and soul are completely exhausted. The world, those people, did this to you. Now, shall we go? Narrating man. Yes, let's go. And then they slip into the water. It just, this is like the most depressing fucking book, by the way. So, ooh, pictures. Yeah. This is the intro, by the way. So, it's Apple Corgon. Am I going to die? I'm really going to die this time. Mine has been a life of so much shame. I know I have no understanding of other human beings. My appreciation of undiscovery that my concept of happiness seems to be completely at variance with that of everyone else was so great as to make me groan night after night in my bed and drove me indeed to the brink of lunacy. I'm your Brant. Shut up, keep reading. Okay, cool. It's as if I have been burdened with the pack of 10 misfortunes, any of which, if my or of my neighbor, would be enough to make a murderer of him. Ooh, okay. If you've if you've slept soundly at night, the morning is exhilarating, I suppose. Perhaps you do not these grief. I'm just gonna read this intro basically, and until my dad goes to bed, and then I'm gonna game in the living room. I fucking love this art style though, it's so great. It is almost impossible for me to converse with other people. What should I talk about? How should I say it? I don't know. That's how I happen to invent my clowning. And it just like shows him goofing off and making funny faces basically, and then people are laughing at him. Yozo, go. Eat properly. If you don't eat, you will die. Human beings work to earn their bread. That's just superstitions. That, if you don't eat, you die. I had not had the remotest idea of the nature of sensation of hunger. As a child, the most painful part of the day was unquestionably mealtime in my own home. Why must human beings eat 3 meals every single day? What extraordinarily solemn faces they all make as they eat. It seems to be some kind of ritual. Reminds me of Jinjitsu style, but I'm very uncultured. Indeed. Same though. I only own one book by him, and it's this one. It may be an act of prayer to probitate whether spirits must be lurking around the house. Most of the words I imagine are probably from Osamu Dazai, or slightly modified, but the art style is all Junjito. Once I began to think in such fashion, I felt as though there were spirits all about the room. Perhaps they were spirits of the dead who held some grudge against the large land-owning Oba family who had exploited them. But more than such spirits, I doubly afraid of living human beings. I was doubly afraid of living human beings. What's the matter, Yozo? Why are you so quiet? Oh, father, I do not wish to die. I shall eat. Mmm, delicious. I'm so happy. You are a strange one. Ho ho ho. Yosa truly is a strange child. Ho ho ho. I had always felt as if I were suffering in hell. Reminds me of Gigi. Wait, is Jujutsu? Yeah, I'm not uncultured. It's amazing. I'm amazing. Yeah, this is literally Jujutsu. So if you just guessed that, that's literally what you're reading, my dude. It's Jujutsu. So, bing bang boom. Let's. I guess I can just weeb. Look at that shit. Mint. I'll be leaving for Tokyo for a while again tomorrow. What present would you children like? A mother of pearl Sasha clip. I want Kiwi doll. A water gun. And you, Yozo. And he just sits in silence, smiling nervously. What about a mask of the New Year lion dance? They sell now children's sizes. Would you like one? Oh, I think that's his dad saying that. I should rub that in a masculine voice. New tattoo. Indeed. Whenever I was asked what I wanted my first new house, I was to answer nothing. The field worlds wouldn't be one. We had a puzzle for the answer. A book would be best if possible, I suppose. There you go, brother. You're a real G. I see. Hmm. What a failure. I angered father. Then you look at him, he's like panicking, scrambled up like in a fucking little taco of anxiety. Little anxious burrito. I must do something. I have to fix this. And then he goes into his father's room and scribbles out a book and basically paranoid enchilada. Yeah, basically. And basically, the paranoid enchilada decides to scratch out the book and write in line mask like his father recommended. This desperate expectant to restore father's good humor was rewarded by the great success I had hoped for. The master had returned. Ahaha! What do you think I found when I opened a notebook in my toy shop? Some of Yozo's mischief. He wanted the mask so much all he had to do was ask. I burst out laughing in front of everyone in the toy shop. What delight you ask you sorry. Ask Gozo to come here at once. Ooh. They're all goofing off and bullshit. Ha ha ha. He's showing his junk to people because he finds it funny. As long as I can make them laugh, it doesn't matter how. I'll be alright. I shall do be nothing. The wind sky. I feign instant optimism. I gradually perfected myself into the role of farcical eccentric. I was well on my way of winning respect. I acquired reputation at school, less because I was son of a rich family, and because, in the vulgar parlance, I had brains. You're so amazing. You got the top marks even though you've been out sick for almost a year. You're so smart. You're a genius. But my definition of a respected man was one who had succeeded almost completely in hoodwinking people. But, sorry, my definition of respected man was one who had almost succeeded, yeah, but who was finally seen through by some omniscient, omnipotent person who ruined him and made him suffer a shame worse than death. Interesting. It's kind of like Saran. Forgot about that. And so Dr. Know-It-All was thwarted in his evil deed. Your manga is so good. Yeah, he's like drawing manga and shit. Yeah. Moral story is if you think this is interesting so far, just basically the mind of a dude who's like, well, a little kid who grows up to an adult who's like a heroin addict and a bunch of different shit. Um, give it a shot. Basically, is an author who deals with like the suicide of his lover, like in a bunch of different shit. How was it like Saran? Just that he's like depressed as fuck and like addicted to his own failure and thinks that like tragedy is like amazing in a way. Like he's addicted to tragedy. I mean, Pretty sure he's more depressed than Saran though. Saran was a pretty happy dude, and the no longer human guy was not even like Saran at all. Uh, you know, the vibe is like Saran. The authors are not like them. Saran was a happy man, but was had depressive literature. Junji Ito and Osamu Dazai. Well, Osamu Dazai, his book's really depressing, and let's just say he's dead, probably. I'm pretty sure I'm sure he killed himself. So sounds emotionally impactful and devastating. I'll read it when I'm manga love. Oh yeah, if you read it, you will actually be emotionally devastated. It's extremely fucked up and sad. It's called No Longer Human, and it's basically original translation translates to disqualified from being human. And yeah, it's basically just about this person who feels like he wants to be able to relate to people, but he basically feels like he's disqualified from being qualified as a human being, like a moral agent, or yeah, basically he's like feels like he's like disqualified from being a moral agent. Very relatable, ironically, indeed. So it's basically my favorite book of all time, is because I heavily relate to it. So it's very much a good series. Not series, it's a good book to read. Wonder where. Well, I might have the copy out here somewhere. I don't fucking know. Something about a mass amount of people always feeling like they're unloved, and it's just like we still can't come together even if you're knowing we aren't alone. Yeah, I mean, this guy, his mindset is very much kind of like my own. Like, he has a lot of empathy issues and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, spoiler alert, take your headphones off, like, right now if you don't want a really interesting spoiler. But at one point in the book, his wife gets sexually assaulted or raped by one of his best friends, and he basically watches it happen and just is like, "This is evolution taking place, essentially. Like, this is just like a product of evolution. Like, this is nature, and it's really fucked up." But he just like watches it take place and just like feels bad, but like doesn't do anything to stop it. Yeah, it's like the whole book is just like the byproduct of like the most fucked up, brutal like shit like you can watch a person go through. in like the most warped perspective, and I'm like, I very much like relate. Moral of the story is spoilers over. I mean, yeah. I mean, I have very, very fucked up fantasies, my dude. Murder's not the only thing that I just try not to get demonetized, man. I mentioned it in one of my streamers, maybe potentially, just because you know I mentioned it at the Willows Creek, but yeah, when it comes down to it, my fantasies can get quite into the sexual violence to the category. So I can understand how one can witness sexual violence and not be disturbed by it, and instead just be like, well, that's a natural thing that occurs in the world. Because I used to watch quite graphic things on the internet. People getting their faces smashed in with, like bricks and shit like that, home slice, people getting decapitated, and yeah, all that fun stuff. Titties and decapitation. No, I wouldn't excuse it, but he kind of did, yeah. But I can understand how someone would excuse it. Because in the past, I would. In the past, I would be like, I wouldn't do it myself, but I wouldn't like report someone for doing it. Yeah, if you would have talked to me in high school, I would not report a rape. Basically, like you, I'd just be like, that's too much paperwork for me. I'd rather just not. Mm. In other words, I'm a piece of shit back in the day. So, like, wouldn't respect them for that. Like, I back in the day, I would have totally respected someone for committing like a crime, like murder or something like that. But like rape, no. But I wouldn't have like been like snitch or anything like that because I just wasn't. I just was more of a fucked up individual back then. Basically understood that things are natural. I just didn't care. I was like, it's not my place to judge. Social contract, and my contract is don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. Now it's a little bit more developed into like, pain's bad. No problem, man. Take the call. I'm just playing chivalry right now. If you want to watch me and just play chivalry, you can do that as well. Yo, bro, I'm literally a psychopath, bro. Social contracts bullshit. Like, I mean, if unless you're saying high school psychopath and me who believed that killing people would be completely cash money, so long as you know, I got a fennel nut out of it. If so long as if unless you think that's cool, Mr. Informant. Probably don't endorse social contract because there's plenty of people that are in my social contract that I would love to hack back, chopping my meat. Ba ba da ba da. I just like to chop them up and toodaloo, my dude. You have a good night. Well, my dude, just a fun thing about that is you don't harm people because you don't want them to harm you. You could probably get away with harming people pretty easily. The government's done shit for chat for me, man. I don't think social contract has anything to do with the government. I mean, sure they have a lot of power and stuff like that. They could like totally like nerve gas us and stuff, but they're not going to probably. So I don't really know if social contract per se, is just about the feds. Not to mention, as I was gonna say, home invasion only takes like 2 minutes on average, according to statistics. So you could probably harm people pretty easily if you're the one to just bust in the home in the middle of the night. They're all gonna be like dazed, confused, like what? And then you just blast them. Just saying. Nope, you'll do it, bro. I believe in you. Oh well. I was talking more about the sociology aspect of it, like being like, yo, you don't kill me, I don't kill you. Less about like, oh, I consent to be governed. I don't care about all that bullshit.